Morning, everybody.
Good morning. We are in Pennsylvania right now,
Allegheny National Forest, something
Allegheny
like
National Forest. We've spent several days in Canada, camped in Canada,
that. Eh?
and then went to Niagara Falls, the Niagara Falls,
Niagara Falls.
and then boondocked in Bald Eagle State Forest, and now we're in Allegheny State Forest for a couple days, and then we're
I'm
headed
not sure where's the next plan.
Ohio. We're going to be in Ohio for a couple days, and
Then we're going home.
And then we're going home. But while we were getting ready for this trip, we recorded nine. What we can't decide what to call them. Nine things to plan for.
Pack for.
Pack
9
for?
things to pack. You know, different.
Nine
Yeah.
kind of categories of things that we think about when we're getting ready to head up on a trip, head out on a trip.
Yeah, what we're gonna take, what we're gonna need, what we might need, what we won't need.
Mm-hmm.
What we're gonna take that we won't need. You know, that kind of stuff. You always do that.
But yeah, but so also like things, redundancies too.
Yep.
Like, so if this fails, then we have this, and if this fails, then we have that kind of backup thing.
Yep.
So we pre-recorded, us kind of going through and explaining these 9 things, a little goofy. But
Wait. Were you calling me a little goofy?
no,
I think she's calling me goofy.
No, I would never call you goofy.
Not recorded anyway.
So anyway, I hope you enjoy and maybe can relate to some of the things that we think about when we're packing.
Because we're enjoying our camping.
We are really enjoying this trip. Yep. Pennsylvania. Dang.
Got some woods.
Pennsylvania is beautiful. So our first time here in Pennsylvania, I mean,
Well,
other than
camping.
driving through it.
Camping.
Yeah, our
Yep.
first time. So anyway, so we'll be back probably next week with the first video from this trip. But in the meantime, hopefully you enjoyed this video.
Check out some of the other ones if you're new to the channel. If you just found us.
Yep. And we're going to head out and start exploring the
area.
Alleghenies a little bit more.
She tells me there's a distillery nearby.
Mm-hmm. All right. Have
Take
a
care,
good one.
folks.
One of the things we plan for is communication.
No, you never told me that.
I did too. You never listen.
Well, that's true, but it's not that kind of communication. That's miscommunication. Of course, many of us go off grid to get away from communication.
But some might need to stay in touch for work or family, or might just feel some anxiety at being totally out of touch.
So for most of us, cell service is probably the main way we stay in touch.
We always check coverage before we go to see if we can expect to have service.
But you can't always count on that to be accurate.
Last year we got a Wii Boost, but for that to work, you still have to have a little bit of signal.
It did give us enough of a boost to text our kids when we were way out in the Wyoming mountains last year.
Which made me feel better. We don't have satellite internet, which would be another way to stay connected. Maybe we'll do that someday, but we don't really feel it's worth the expense for us at this point.
We do have two-way FRS radios.
We use those to communicate with each other when he kicks me out of the truck to film something.
They could be useful in an emergency though too. Whether you're needing help or somebody else, you can always call out and hopefully somebody will be listening. So we make sure that ours are always charged.
The last thing we check is our Garmin InReach. We keep it in the truck all the time, but we check to make sure it's functioning correctly before we leave.
We can use it for emergencies, but we can also text our family with it when we don't have cell service.
So that leads into navigation.
When we're heading out to an area we are unfamiliar with, we always scope it out first on Gaia, OnX, Off-Road, Google Maps, Google Earth, Any service we can find.
But remember, you may not have service, so we always download maps for offline use before we leave.
But Gina's old school and likes her paper maps.
I do like a paper map. It's always good to have as backup.
As we started traveling more and going further into the woods, we've started getting more recovery gear.
Let's be real, some of this stuff is pretty expensive. Since we usually travel alone though, we have to be as self-reliant as possible.
When we first started, we just had a bag of tools and a jump box. Maybe jumper cables.
But they're not that helpful if you're by yourself.
Yeah.
Then we added a tire repair kit, an air compressor, and a high lift jack. We also purchased some traction boards.
This year we finally invested in a winch.
That made me feel much better.
We recently got a kinetic rope and some other bits and baubles and bling that, while not necessarily, can come in handy.
You just like making heck and back look fancier. Of course we need power for our cameras, tablet, etc.
And the air conditioner. But granted, power isn't a necessity for everyone.
Before we started making videos and taking extended boondocking trips, we just relied on our vehicle for power.
Currently we have an AC with a rechargeable battery, 2 Renogy power banks, and an Anchor power station.
So before we leave, we always make sure those are all topped off.
While we are traveling, we have the ability to charge the Anchor from the truck.
Some people bring a portable generator, which we think is a good option.
If we bring one, it would need to be a quiet one, since we camp to enjoy nature and not disrupt it.
There's nothing more annoying on a calm, peaceful morning or evening than to hear somebody's generator start up.
Especially your own.
But yeah, that's just our opinion.
We think the ultimate power solution is a solar system, which is something we are considering for future. It's on the drawing board.
Another thing to think about if you're going off grid is water.
Gina, where's the last of the water?
What?
Oh, for Pete's sakes! Water is one of the most important things to plan for. You need to figure probably about 2 gallons per person per day of your trip.
So we think about how long we're gonna be out, how many gallons does that mean we need, and then we plan a little bit extra for things.
Hair washing and showers. And hair washing.
Part of our planning is also looking for places where we may be able to get water along our route.
But we do fill several Reliance water jugs and a couple water bricks before we leave.
We often bring a couple of gallon bottles of water that we keep in the truck as well, just for emergencies.
We also bring with us a water filtration system so that we can get water from a lake, stream, or even a stock tank if necessary. That's not beneath us.
Water is one of those things that you don't want to be without.
Before we head out, we always check our first aid kit and restock it as needed.
We also make sure we have any personal meds and some basics like a leave and Tums. We also include in this category hygiene stuff. So we have a portable shower that we bring, but we also bring shower wipes just in case. Those are our backup.
Always make sure we have plenty of TP.
You have to think about where you're going to go and how you're going to go.
Facilities where you're camping.
Or we bring a cassette toilet with us wherever we go.
We also think about where we are going to be. Should we bring bear spray, for example?
Okay, so gear. Let's talk about gear. That could be a huge category and could mean different things to different people.
It will be different for everyone, but these are our basics.
So we bring a shovel and an axe and a bow saw.
But we just got a cordless chainsaw to replace that.
Oh, yep.
That shoulder wrecker.
We make sure we have our camp chairs packed, and we bring a metal roll-up table because when you're dispersed camping, picnic tables are not guaranteed. Occasionally we'll find a spot with a table, but those are kind of the exceptions.
We also just got a small table to fit between our chairs around the campfire to hold our coffee cups. I'm tired of fighting the ants for my beer.
Well, and how many times have I set mine on the ground and then reached down to pick it up and knocked it over? So
Oh, you mean tried to reach down that far?
tried to reach down that far to pick
Short
it up.
people.
Yeah. We also check to make sure our lantern and battery operated lights are ready to go, that they're all working, there's no problem with them.
We each have headlamps that we make sure are charged. We also have a small propane torch with us for starting the campfires.
You love the propane torch.
Burned my fingers too many times with matches.
We also have a little buddy heater and a small electric heater that we keep in the camp-and-awe, so it's just always in there in case we need it.
You never know when it's going to be cold enough you're going to need heat.
And then we also bring some small rechargeable fans with us as well.
Bedding, of course, in winter, sleeping bags, but in summer, just sheets and blankets. So this crosses into cooking gear also. We have some standard things we bring, like pots, pans, dishes, utensils. We keep in a tub. We check it each time we pack up to make sure nothing has been broken, lost, or not cleaned.
How many times have we gotten to camp and realized we didn't have a can opener?
That can got opened though. That's for sure.
That's true. We also plan out our meals, so like I do a whole meal plan ahead of time, and we think about any special cooking gear we might need, like pudgy pie irons, Dutch ovens, etc.
We use a propane stove for most of our cooking. Part of our gear is a 5-pound propane tank.
We have 2 collapsible tubs for dishes that we bring, but we always have to check for rags and towels since they often get thrown in the laundry or accidentally left on a tree drying. That only happened one time. We try not to leave stuff behind, but it happens occasionally.
I'm sure it's dry by now.
So our last category is one that you may not really think about much and probably isn't talked about that much, but that's comfort.
We call it roughing it, but there's a
line. So we started our camping experience with a ground tent, and then we moved up to a rooftop tent, and of course just last year we moved up to our camp-and-all.
These are changes we made to improve our comfort. But when we talk about comfort, there are much smaller things to think about also. A good night's sleep is priceless, as we make sure we have comfortable pillows, the same kind we have at home.
And I'm a sheet snob, so when we used to go camping, we would just bring the oldest, trashed sheets that we had. But now I want soft, comfy sheets, even when we're camping.
Egyptian 800 thread count, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. And Tim has a specific special blanket that he likes to bring, so he always brings that. Even if it's not supposed to rain, we always bring our rain gear with us.
Layers in case it does get cold, extra pair of socks, shoes. I always bring more than just one extra pair of socks. Yeah, I hate wet feet.
Yeah, so we always bring extra shoes, an extra pair of shoes, just in case.
Camp shoes are another comfort item we bring. Being able to kick off the hiking boots or tennis shoes is really nice.
Yeah, after a whole day hiking and hiking boots or, tennis shoes, it's nice to kick those off.
Never thought I'd say it, but I wear Crocs.
Yeah, it's amazing. We used to make fun of Crocs, but we love our Crocs now.
They're comfy.
We will often bring a change of clothes for the very last day for the drive home. Depending on the time of year, especially, we can be a little unkempt, maybe smelly by the time we're headed home. And we often plan to stop on the drive home somewhere, either for dinner, lunch, a brewery every now and then. So we like to have like a nice fresh change of clothes for the drive home.
And body wipes.
And body wipes. When we talk about comfort, another thing that we've added is a motion detector light on the outside of our Campanaw. So when you have to get up in the middle of the night, or if something is moving around outside.
Yeah, it's not a matter of being afraid of the dark. It's what's out there in the dark that you want to know about, at least me.
So we can set it to come on automatically, if there's movement, motion outside. So, when you step out in the middle of the night, the light comes on. It's just comforting to have that light be able to see what's around you.
Or before you step out, if the light comes on.
To be able to look and see what is out there.
Is it a squirrel or is it Bigfoot? I understand these are our checklists. This is what we bring that we're just sharing with you. Everybody should make their own or have their own list of what they take.
This is what works for us, and we thought, some of this may be useful for you as well.
So if you have any questions about what we take, any questions about how we pack or what we use, feel free to drop a note down in the comments and we'll get back to you.
We hope you're out there having some great adventures of your own, and we'll see you in the next video.
Take care.
Ready? So that leads into navigation.
Yes, we do that.
Because of the vehicle or my hair?
No, because I was going like this.
Oh.
And also Dramamine.
Dramamine sometimes.
But that's my fault for my driving.
Yeah, it's your driving.
We are going to be. Should we bring bear spray?
Sounds like you're going to say something else after that.
Should we bring bear spray, for example?
Okay.
Or just rely on my good looks?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, I agree. Bring the bear spray.
What?
Oh, for Pete's sakes.
Oh, I didn't know you were going to do so. I did.
If we bring one, it would need to be a quiet one, since I sleep very softly.
Person's mind. One of the things we plan for is communication.
What?
No, we're going to do that separate. With them.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Were you looking off?
No, kind of. I was distracted by the chickens.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, fuck. Here comes...
Yes, I'll hold them.
Here comes the peanut gallery.